So a few weeks ago, I was on Instagram, as I am way too much these days, and I was watching some videos from a woman that I've been following for a very long time, Josie Balka. I think that's how you say her last name, Balka. And I love her videos. They're amazing. It's this I'm going to call it poetry that she writes and she reads, and she has just a voice like butter. But in one that I was watching a few weeks ago, there was a line in it that really has stuck with me. And she says, "You are allowed more than one success story." And given it is graduation season, so we're in the summertime, so many kids have just graduated high school or college and are about to embark on a new adventure, a new chapter of their lives. I thought this might be something interesting for us to dive into. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Next 23, you guys. I am Kelly Taylor, your host, and I am so happy that you are here. I am in this season of having a graduate. So, my oldest just graduated college, and he is about to move to New York City to live his big, beautiful, amazing life and start this adult adventure on his own. And I could not be more excited for him. And a few weeks ago, I was watching Instagram stories, reels, all of it, because I'm a little addicted. And I came across Josie Balka's page and one of her videos, which I am also obsessed with. And in it, she taught in one of her videos, poetry, beautiful words, all the things. She has a line that says, "You are allowed more than one success story." And I want to dive into that right now because I feel like it's really appropriate for us as women, us as parents, for us as humans, us as entrepreneurs, us as people who might be in a season of life where we are thinking that it might be time to shift or pivot or change things up in our life. And that can be really, really scary. And I know my nephews, my son, so many of their friends, so many young people today are about to step into this scary space of their lives. And it can be really terrifying because for a couple reasons. One, if you absolutely know what you want to do and you're passionate about it and it's something you have wanted for your entire life, like my son, it can be really scary because trying to find your first job or your first connection or your first whatever in that space can be really stressful because it feels very narrow. It can be equally as stressful if you have graduated and you still aren't quite sure what you want to do, quote unquote, for the rest of your life. And, oh, babies, please hear me when I say that 22, you do not have to have it figured out. What you choose next does not have to be for the rest of your life. If you are 42, if you are 52, like I'm going to be later this year, if you are 62, 72, it still holds true. That doesn't have to be for the rest of your life. We are allowed to have more than one success story. That is such a beautiful, beautiful thought and something that I like literally have packed so deep into my heart and soul since I heard it because the thought of not being able to pivot in my career, in my passions, in my life, in my marriage, whatever it is, the thought of that just feels nauseating. Like I can't imagine feeling like you've made a decision in your early 20s. So let's take my marriage, for example, right? I got married at 23 years old, met my husband when I was 22, and we were married for 23 years. If if I thought that that decision that I made at 23 years old was what I was stuck with, or had to stay in for the rest of my life, then 23 years later, I would not have had the strength or the courage or the energy or even the mindset to be able to choose something different for myself and for my kids and for my ex-husband. Like if he and I had not sat down and said, we can't do this. We're not happy. We're not making each other happy. And that's okay. We are allowed to pivot. We are allowed to have more than one success story, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in careers, whether it's in a goal that you are wanting. If you want to train for a marathon and run your first marathon, and then you want to try a triathlon, and then you want to, I don't know, become the best pickleball player. Like you're allowed to have and change and shift things up. That's the beauty of us having choices and autonomy over our own lives and being able to try new things. And you guys, it is something that I just think is incredible. And it does make me sad for people who don't understand that or don't believe it or don't feel that they have a choice. Now, as per usual, there are some caveats to my big, bold statements that I'm making here. And those caveats are sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes your life situation at that moment puts you in a space where you have to stay, whether it's you have to stay in a job you don't really love because you need the money and you need to buy food and pay your electric bill and pay your rent or your mortgage and put food and clothes on the table and on your children. So sometimes you do have to stay for a little bit. But that doesn't mean you can't also at the same time work to figure out a new plan or try to set things up so that you can shift your jobs and pivot and change careers. You can make that leap into the unknown of something new and exciting that you are passionate about while not destituting your family. There are ways to do it. It may take longer. It may take 10 years. It may take 20 years, but it doesn't mean it cannot ever happen. So I think that hanging on to this idea and this notion of there's not just one success story that might be part of your journey, part of the story of your life is really it is really exciting. And on the flip of it, if you do change or pivot, it doesn't mean you failed at the things you were originally doing. It doesn't mean that you're a big fat failure. No, you guys, I have pivoted so many times. Okay, actually, let me say this. I have been in my advertising career, so my job, it's not a job. I love it. It's my career. I have been working in my career in advertising for in the same role with the same boss for 18 years. And I love it so much. I genuinely love, love, love what I do. And I also have this creative itch that I genuinely need to scratch outside of my career, outside of my job, outside of work. And that's the space that I have pivoted so many times. So let me tell you a little story. It's story time, kids. So years and years ago, I want to say maybe, um, let's see, my son's 22. I can't do math. Oh my God. Um, 16 years ago, let's call it 16 years ago, my husband at the time bought me a camera. And just, I mean, that's a lovely gift. And it was kind of random, but he knew I was creative and it was amazing. So I got this beautiful camera. I started learning it. I didn't take classes. I'm not like classically trained as a photographer, but I knew that I instantly had a passion for photography and I knew that I loved everything about it. So I spent the next several years as a hobby learning photography taking pictures. I texted all my friends, said, hey, if you guys want family photos, holiday photos, whatever, let's do it free of charge. Just know that if they suck, they're going to suck. And, it is what it is. You can't, it just is what it is. So you get what you pay for. So they're going to be free because I am just learning photography. I'm just figuring it out. So I did that, you guys, for many, many years. I just photographed my kids, God bless them, my friends, their families, anything and everything I could until I truly felt like, wait a minute, I'm actually pretty good at this. And my work is pretty darn good and I still love it. So I started a side hustle. I started a photography business. I started charging people for their portraits. I started getting clients and I did this for so many years. And you guys, it was so much fun. Like I loved it so much. And then after a while, I started thinking, you know what? I love photography. It is a passion of mine. And it also is taking a lot of time. It's taking weekends, it's editing. There's a lot going on that takes me away from my family. So I decided that I still wanted to work with people and meet specifically female entrepreneurs. That was sort of my jam back then. I really loved talking to women who were starting businesses. And I was like, how do I do this? How do I get in front of more female entrepreneurs so I can spend time with them and talk to them and learn from them without it being creepy or weird? And I realized, wait, okay, I designed a website for my photography business. I had started a meetup group. I designed a website for the meetup group. I had created a website for my husband at the time for his business. So I was like, you know what? I I'm a pretty good designer. I can design websites and all entrepreneurs, all business owners need a website. So I pivoted from photography to Taylor Street Designs, my web design side hustle, side gig. All this time, I still have my advertising career, my job that pays the bills. Still have it. But I made this pivot into web design. Do I feel like a big fat failure for quote unquote giving up photography as my business? No, not at all. Not at all. Because at the time, it was right for me. I still take pictures. I still love it. I just don't really charge for it. And I don't take clients and I don't do it a lot, but I still do it for the love of it. And I pivoted into something that still scratches that creative itch that I have, still allows me to be in the space of business owners and entrepreneurs. And it has been amazing. You guys, I'm coming up on 10 years next year, 2026. February of 2026 is 10 years of Taylor Street Designs being in this world, which is crazy to me. But I've loved every second of it. So in my mind, I have more than one success story. I have so many success stories, and you can categorize them, by different parts of your life. So you can have many relationship success stories throughout your life. You can have career success stories. So most people don't stay in the same job with the same boss for 18 years. I have so many friends who have been so successful and climbed that corporate ladder and, started out with me 100 years ago, we'll say, because I don't want to say how long. And she's now like this big wig hotshot at a big time company. And I'm so proud of her. I have other friends who have changed careers completely and like as far as their actual career and their job and shifted completely, which is also so impressive and so courageous. And I just love it so much for them. So you can have many success stories inside your career. You can have many success stories inside your hobbies or your side hustles or whatever that looks like. I think as for all the parents out there, I think we all know we have many success stories and many non-successful stories of parenting. But when you look at your kid who is 22 and is about to go off into this big wide world on their own and yeah, they're nervous as all fuck, but they also are so excited and they have that energy of my life is just about to bloom in a big, beautiful way. Oh, you guys, that's such a success story. And when you have a 5-year-old who is about to start kindergarten for the first time because in August it's time for big, big kid school, that is such a success story. It's amazing. So, in any aspect of your life, you guys, we're allowed more than one success story. So, I just want you to know that if you decide to pivot or change or course correct or take a new journey in your life, A, no matter how old you are, B, no matter how deep into one path you are down, there's always room to pivot. And it is not a failure. You're going to take everything you learned from the one path you're on and you're going to pivot into this next path and it's going to be great. Or you might find out, oh, I don't like this new thing. I really miss my old thing. So go back to the old thing. It's totally okay. Here's the beauty of it. This is your life. This is your one wild and beautiful life that you have, and you get to make the decisions in it. You get to choose which path you take. You get to choose when to take a new path. You get to choose if you want to go back to a path from 4 paths ago. You get to decide. And again, sometimes, caveat here, decisions are made for you because of life circumstance. But you guys, if you stay with it, it doesn't mean it has to be that way forever. I truly believe there is a way out of everything or a way around or a different path somehow, some way that you can take in any circumstance, unless it is an illness or a sickness. I think those are two that may, you know, may prevent you from doing something, but in every other situation and scenario, it may not be instant. It's definitely not going to be easy, you guys, but if it's something that you want badly enough, make a plan. Start figuring it out. And the first way to do it, the first step to take in course correcting or course changing something in your life so you can have a different success story is to believe that it's possible. That's all you have to do. That's the first step. Believe that it's possible for you to do something different, for you to do something new. And then the second step is you have to commit to it and stay committed. We're going to talk about that in the next podcast about what commitment looks like. And just for the record, you guys, this next one is 100% going to be me talking to me and kicking my own ass and motivating my own self because I am terrible with staying committed to a thing. As you guys know, I think I only launched 6 podcast episodes last year. So when I say I'm committed to something, it is a daily grind. It's a daily challenge. So that's for the next episode. So this one, let's wrap it up with just this idea of you are allowed more than one success story. Please tell that to your kids if they are graduating and starting their adult life, whatever that looks like. Please let them know that this moment in time, what they choose right now, doesn't have to be their one and only. They have a lifetime of opportunity and choices and pivots that are going to be beautiful and exciting and hard and stressful, but amazing. And they have this big, beautiful life ahead of them. And I need you to know that for yourself too, no matter what age you are. I love you guys, and I'm cheering for you. The Next 23 is produced in partnership with Taylor Street Designs. I would love it if you guys could subscribe to the show. Don't worry, if it's not your jam, just tap that unsubscribe button. No hard feelings. Love you guys.